Hey everybody, Ranger Kristen here with another Ranger Minute. I got a question for you. What animal is depicted in a animated series? It's kind of dumb and bumbling, but is also depicted in many Native American legends and stories as cunning and wily and smart. Now, if you guessed the coyote, you'd be right. The coyote is native to North America and is found all the way from Alaska, even down into Central America. And this is because they are incredibly adaptive. And by that I mean they can live in cold, wintry climates to hot desert to cities. And most animals, we know, humans move in and the animals go. Yeah, we still get opossums and raccoons and rats and squirrels and things like that in cities, but we don't generally have an animal, a wild animal, as big as that coyote. So that's one of the things that I think is really, really neat about them. They are able to adapt to anything that we throw at them, which I think is cool, but at the same time, they were really hunted ferociously in the early 20th century because A, trappers wanted their fur, B, they were getting into livestock like sheep, baby cattle, things like that. And so people didn't want them near their homes. And even though they were absolutely hunted and thought of as a pest, in some places in the United States they still are, but these animals managed to recover and recoup, and they are doing amazingly well. So coyotes, if you don't know, they're in between size-wise of a wolf and a fox. And wolves are actually mortal enemies of coyotes and will kill them if they see them. And coyotes will kill foxes when they see them. So in an area that has a high wolf population, you're not going to see coyotes. You're going to see more foxes and lots of wolves. And that's kind of true for everywhere else you go. If there's a high population of coyotes, you know there's really not wolves, and you're probably not going to see a lot of foxes. So size-wise, coyotes are about 2 feet at the shoulder, about 20 to 50 pounds, maybe even heavier in the northern regions, and 3 to 4 feet, if I remember correctly, from nose to the tip of the tail. So it's a decent-sized animal, kind of a medium-sized dog-ish size. And they are omnivores. They're scavengers, they're opportunists. So they will eat anything from fruits and veggies to eggs to fish, birds, and even small pets like little dogs and cats if you leave them out unsupervised. So, excuse me. So a lot of people, because of that, have some animosity towards these animals. Now, if you're in coyote country, there's a few things that you can do to be safe. A, don't let your pets run around at night. Don't have an outdoor cat. Keep it indoors. If you've got a small dog, keep an eye on it. If you're going hiking in coyote country, coyotes will actually attack dogs, and not just little ones to eat. They actually attack ones that are their size and maybe even a little bit bigger because they see it as a territorial rival, or maybe they think that your dog is going to attack their pups. So it's a defense mechanism. So a lot of times that's what we see happening is the coyotes might follow you if you have a dog. Mostly they're keeping an eye on you. They're trying to make sure that their pups are safe. So for coyote families, it's not the same as wolves. They don't run around in these big old packs. A coyote, quote unquote, pack will have an alpha female and alpha male, and they're monogamous. And some places even think that they will mate for life, essentially, so that they get together in early spring, January, February, March to mate. They'll raise the pups that are born about 2 months later, raise them. The pups will go off in the fall, and sometimes that pair will then disperse and find each other later in the year. And when there's a lot of good food around, you actually might see a coyote pack. So it might be the parents, pups of the year, and maybe even a slightly older sibling or two. And in that case, the siblings will help take care of those pups. So sometimes you might see one, sometimes you might see multiples. And it's all down to where they are. Are they in a natural area like where I am, where there's lots of food, there's lots of space, or are they in the middle of a city? So speaking of living in the middle of a city, you might be wondering, okay, well, how do they manage? So in the city, you've got rats and squirrels and rabbits and small animals. You've got trash piles for them to dig through, roadkill. A lot of cities have parks, so you've got space for the animals to run around. A lot of these have lakes, man-made lakes, so you've got water. And, they might dig under your deck. You might not ever know. They actually will bury their excrement, which is kind of cool. If they're in the wild, they will mark territory by both urinating and defecating. So that's a little bit different than what you might expect. And in that case, I imagine that it's left above ground. But if they're trying to be sneaky or smart, then they'll actually bury their defecation. So if you think about it, humans have tried really, really, really hard to get rid of this animal. It ain't going anywhere, guys. It's smart, it's adaptable. Honestly, I love to hear them sing. They have a lot of different vocalizations, from yips and barks to howls, and all of that is communicating different things. It might be, hey guys, I'm over here, come find me, to, hi, I'm excited, you're home, yeah! Just, there's a whole language. It's pretty cool. I remember as a kid, I lived on 5 acres up in Wisconsin, and we had coyotes that lived across the street. And as a kid, I thought it would be really cool to howl at them. And so I went out towards the road at the end of the 5 acres, and I howled and got the absolute poo scared out of me because they howled back. And then I'm looking across the field, and there was a hay bale, one of those nice big round ones. And there was a hay bale, and there's a coyote, sticking his head around it. And I don't know how old I was. I don't know, 7. And I went streaking back to the house, just absolutely scared. Which, well, I was howling at them. So yeah, they're kind of come and investigate. But that's one of my first memories of them. And, ever since then, I've just kind of been interested in them. They're neat animals. They're smart. There's a reason that they were featured in a lot of Native American stories. Some cultures, they're the trickster, and some they're just more of a smart, wily character. So, cool animal, adaptable, and, they're not out for blood. They're not out to get you. So if you see a coyote, same thing with anything else, give it its space. Same thing as I told you with bears, use the thumb rule. Stick your arm out like you're hitchhiking. If you can cover it up with your thumb, you're probably far enough away. If it's looking like it's skittish or uncomfortable, give it some more space. And safety-wise, like I said earlier, just keep your kids, your dogs, your cats under supervision. Chickens, they'll go after your chickens too, so make sure your chicken coop is well protected. And you shouldn't have any problems. You'd be able to watch them and just see how neat these animals are. All right, so that is it for this edition of my Ranger Minute. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have anything that you want to see, I'd be happy to make a video on that. I think I've got requests for fire and bats. So those will be in upcoming videos. Click subscribe if you haven't. Share the video if you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. That really helps me, keeping me motivated, but it also helps people be able to actually find this video if they're just randomly searching. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, see you later.